Welcome back to Total Party Kill, the podcast where we discover what is friendship. I'm your Dungeon Master, Tony Sindelar. This is UK TPK. Our adventurers today, let's rejoin them in the middle of the action. We have Jason Snell.
Hello, I'm Furion the Elf, and I'm interested in things.
We have Tiff Armit.
Hey, I'm El Scorcho, the tiefling who has a fox. Well, it's a weasel named Fox.
We have Mike Hurley.
I play Maximilian Thundercliff, the big brute guy who really doesn't actually want to hurt anybody.
Also here, Liz Miles.
I'm playing Velo, the less demonic, a human warlock who is absolutely not going to accidentally, on purpose, maybe get the party killed. It's all fine. It's all good. I understand D&D now. You don't want to explore everywhere.
Follow your heart. Also here, Adina Hurley.
Hey, I'm Olena, a half-elf that's overly keen to try her newly acquired weapons and get into adventures.
And rounding out the party, it's Meepo the Kobold. Hello. Did I actually introduce everybody
I'm in the
this time?
party. Did I get killed?
Sorry.
You did die in the
And
first
just
one.
beneath Meepo the Kobold.
I saved him. He didn't die.
I was so excited to introduce Meepo, I forgot about you, James.
Wow.
You know what? I'm very used to parties with 5 people. There's 6 of you. It's very exciting. But it's bad for my limited memory. Also here, James Thompson.
I play Nox, the Dragonborn Bard, who has a very cunning plan with how to deal with these 2 goblins.
So here is, I'm just going to say, in other D&D, people interrupt so much that I just count on people will at some point interrupt, and that's how I'll remember to introduce them. And you all are too polite, is the problem.
That's because it's the UK edition.
Exactly.
Yes,
There's
you're
an
all just-
overabundance of politeness. thrown
Yes,
into
you're all
this
just very
session.
friendly and proper, and it's throwing me for a loop.
Can you imagine if we had a Canadian here too?
I
No one would
don't
ever
like to
play.
think about it.
Wow.
So we are brought together by the powers of friendship and the internet and imagination to envision what it would be like cramped in a dark, smelly little hallway with a bunch of goblins. Previously on Total Party Kill, the Adventurers Pyramid group explored. They heard a rumor about a dungeon called the Sunless Citadel. They secured a contract to rescue 2 missing adventurers who are part of a wealthy family nearby. They have descended into the Sunless Citadel, and they made friends with a kobold and taken on a job for a kobold tribe, and are currently trying to sneak into kind of the back door to a goblin base. Maximilian, I believe you are at the front of the group.
Yep.
You're sneaking through this dark...
Where do we go for the map thing? Sorry.
Oh, zoom out. I had to do that too. It's on Roll20.
Roll20?
If you're not on Roll20.
Roll20.
It may have
Okay,
loaded you in
okay.
like a top corner where it was just
Roll-
Yeah, I
darkness.
got that.
20. Where's roll 20?
Hi, Jim.
Jim, how's it going?
Jim Metzendorf, we love you. I send lots of messages to Jim these days. It's like, oh, hi, Jim.
Jim, hello from April. It's 63 degrees in Massachusetts today. I hope you're doing good.
Yeah, Jim will be looking at this far in the future. What
Yes.
should we like hold up a newspaper for sign of life?
Yeah. I was going to be like, what is today's date? And I was like, I don't know. It's April-ish.
13th.
Yeah, that sounds right.
If
Plausible.
only it was Friday. How spooky would it be to play D&D on Friday the 13th?
I think we did that once. I think we played a haunted house adventure.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll take this moment to thank everybody who's watching live on Twitch. It's very kind of you all to tune in. I hope that you're going to enjoy this as much as we do.
Same.
Let me know if anything important happens in the Twitch stream. I've got a lot of windows open already as a dungeon master, so
Don't
I
worry.
don't think
I'm watching
I
the
don't-
chat.
Okay, I don't think I have the screen real estate to give that also.
There's a cute
I added
Pokemon in the chat
an
right
extra
now.
laptop
Some
to watch
Pikachu.
the
What?
Twitch
I'm supposed to
chat.
have a second laptop now? I was uninformed.
I've covered this entire wall in front of me in screens.
Wow.
I have character sheets over there.
Your
Liz, can
Dungeons
you...
and Dragons
See your
command
screen.
center.
Shh, don't tell them that. I have an ultra wide though, so I get lots on the screen.
Welcome to Dungeons and Dragons, where we talk about our computers.
Hey, I've got a map.
Wait, aren't we
All
still
right.
Yes.
Hey,
I'm so
we're there.
confused.
Hey, hello us.
You will notice, thanks to James Thompson, Meepo now has a Lego avatar, as does Fox. So I put those in.
Very nice.
So only the people watching get to see that. Everybody else, sorry.
Use your imagination.
To imagine what a Lego miniature would look like of a fox. All right. Anything else? Liz, you all set?
Yes, yeah, we're good.
All right. So you are sneaking down this cramped, filthy little hallway into goblin territory. Maximilian is leading the way, followed by Nox, followed by Velo, followed by Fox, followed by Elle, followed by Elena, followed by Furion, and bringing up the rear, Meepo the Kobold. So Maximilian, I believe you appeared around the corner and seen two goblins kind of standing at the end of this long, filthy hallway. Looks like they're guarding a door here, and I believe they've seen you. Does that line up with where we ended things?
Yes. So,
Okay.
luckily, I speak Goblin.
Oh.
It is one of my languages.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that James may have a cunning plan, which I would like to hear, but my instinct would be to attempt to diffuse this situation with charm and good wit.
Okay.
I think we should
So-
burn them to death.
That is, we'll say that is on the table as an option. James, would you like to tell us your cunning plan?
Yeah. So my cunning plan.
I will just point out, I'm not sure about your ability to relay a cunning plan to your friends.
Oh, darn it.
Well,
Yeah.
because the goblins are here. Is that correct, Nox and Max? I mean, the goblins are like, what's going on down there? And
That's a very good point.
So
I don't know
they're
how
about to
brief
come.
your cunning plan is, Nox. Is what I'm saying.
Okay.
/ your cunning plan might be overheard by the goblins. But
Whisper it.
do you want to
Or hand signals.
whisper a cunning plan very quickly to your friends?
Well, so my cunning plan involves a spell.
Okay.
So
And-
I'm just going to say to everybody that they have to trust me.
Okay.
All right. I'm trusting.
that is a plan. I'm not yet seeing the cunning in it.
Can we get the audio? I would like to hear the
Yes.
Nox whisper, trust me.
Hang on. Well, if I'm going to do this, I need to get into character.
Oh no!
Oh my god.
Oh, yes. I love it.
£7.50 well spent. I think.
That's $85 American.
Well, who knows by the time you hear this. So, yeah, the main thing with this is I need to stop hitting the microphone with my nose.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Trust me, I've got a plan.
and so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast my disguise self spell, and I'm going to disguise myself as a goblin.
Okay. Can you tell me how disguise self works? Because I don't know how it works.
I looked at it earlier, and it's basically
At the time, it seemed like a good idea.
well,
So-
there's a slight flaw which I'll not say out loud, but
Do I get to know what the slight flaw
It'll
is?
be fine.
so I can make myself appear to be anybody. Like I can be a foot shorter, fat, thin. It says, it basically, so long as they don't touch me, I will appear as a goblin.
Aren't goblins a notoriously affectionate race who
Big huggers, those goblins.
Yeah, the changes wrought by this spell fail to hold up to physical inspection. Your hand
Yes.
will pass through illusions. And to discern that you are
And-
disguised, a creature can use its action to inspect your appearance and must succeed on an intelligence check against your spell save.
Okay. The other spell casting question I want to know is how long does it take to cast that spell?
One action.
Does 1 action, and it lasts for an hour.
Okay, that's great. Sometimes there are spells that it's like, especially more like ritual related things where you would need a solid minute or 10 minutes to do stuff. So that sounds like you could totally just poof look like a goblin if you wanted to.
Also, Nox is a master of disguise in his abilities as well.
Indeed.
So combining all that, 100% goblin.
Okay. So are you executing your plan now, or is this?
Yes, I'm going to
Okay.
execute my plan.
We just talked about it. Let's not do it. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Really,
Maybe
if
it's like
anything,
in 10
we may have
minutes.
not- we may have
After you
not
guys are
even
deep
needed
into
to have
conversations
Nox.
with the goblin, you're going to rock
Exactly.
up as a goblin. So, Noct, you cast that. That takes an action. I assume that uses up a spell slot or whatnot. Now, you mentioned some things about dimensions, which might be a little challenging because, correct me if I'm wrong, as a Dragonborn, you are quite tall.
Yes, we didn't establish exactly which units to use when describing height last time.
How much
I think it was
taller than
400 feet or 2
goblin?
meters, I think was the...
Well, so just to, Max has peered around the corner, and perhaps some of you have heard of goblins before. Goblins are rather short, little humanoid creatures. They tend to be clad in, fur and loinclothy kinds of things, and they're not, their standards of personal hygiene are a little different than some of your characters, but maybe not all of your characters. They have rather large ears and beady little eyes, but they are rather on the short side. I would say that a goblin is probably even 5 feet would be a tall goblin. UK listeners, 5 feet is approximately 2 kilometers. Or 1.5 meters.
So Nox can get 1 foot shorter, but he's still going to be a very tall looking goblin.
Yeah. He's either going to be like 6 foot or over.
Okay.
Well,
King of the Goblins.
He's got on the goblin basketball team.
So I'm just pointing, and Nox, you would be aware of this. So you are a very tall goblin, which I'm not saying that's going to diminish your goblin costume / disguise, but it might, for example, I think Nox would probably be aware of that might impede on your ability to convince them that you are another goblin, because you would be a distinctively, that you're like, oh yeah, I'm your cousin that you've seen all the time, because you are the tallest goblin that any goblin has ever seen, right?
well, I'm hoping that my charisma will shine through.
All
and
right.
I can convince them of this.
All right, so
Make this
the
happen.
goblins are saying like, "Hey, who's down there? Who's staffing about?" And Max is peeking around the corner, and Nox, you have turned into a goblin. What happens next?
Okay, well, I think the second half of my cunning plan is...
There's a second half.
oh, yeah.
Wow, this is what happens
is-
when we have 3 weeks between episodes. People have time to prep these things. We've never had a cunning plan on Total Party Kill before.
So you are all, of course, Nox's prisoners, who he's escorting through.
Perfect.
Okay,
Go for it. Just go for it. That sounds great. What's
Yep.
the worst that can happen?
Yeah,
We're going to fight him
let's
anyway.
do
You
it.
might as well give it a go.
That's how I'm looking at this. Okay, so I think I assume I should probably go first, and just come around the corner and lead everyone, probably with their weapons hidden.
that was you know what, you are like, this is some advanced planning, because that's literally the next thing I'm going to say is like, they clearly all have their weapons.
Okay.
Just
So-
trying to get some
just so-
confusion going on here, I think.
And it helps that some of you are magic users with less conspicuous weapons, right? It's one thing if you're like a giant, half orc with a giant axe or something. It's another thing when it's just like you're an elf with a stick. So,
Yeah. Okay. The flaw in the plan.
no, I wouldn't tell me about that.
No.
No. Just act
Okay.
it out. See what happens.
Okay, let's go for it. See if anyone notices.
Do you want to
Right.
tell your friends about it and I won't pay attention?
I
Or
think
do
I've
we
guessed
want to
what the
find out
flaw
the
is.
flaw together?
No.
We're going to need you in a soundproof booth,
As far
please.
as I'm concerned, Nox is just I'm in the back. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on, and Nox is just going to wander out looking like a goblin and
This is a very dark, cramped, little filthy hallway. It's probably challenging even for Max and Nox to switch places. Like they've got to like climb over each other.
I just get down. I'm good at basing at the base of a pyramid, so I'll just like
so-
Yeah,
sit
but then
down
like
and
a
hop over me.
Dragonborn still has to climb over you, which is
It's not a
uncomfortable.
problem. We're behind the wall. But James, I would like to have a quick confer with you because I think I might have a solution to your problem.
I don't-
I
Yes.
expect you can't speak Goblin.
Yes, this is the crux
Wow.
of the problem. Is I need an interpreter.
What
He
if
needs to whisper in
I, a
his
Goblin
ear.
speaker, pretend to speak
Just stand
for
right.
you?
Just stand right
from
behind him.
around the corner.
Stand right behind him.
We're about the same height.
Are you
Yeah.
the same item as him pretending to be a goblin?
How
He's
dark
a little
is
bit
it, Tony?
smaller.
Could that work?
Again,
where one
crouching.
guy's like,
Good at crouching.
Hello, everybody, and the other
I
guy's like,
have a proficiency
All right.
in crouching.
I just want to say here, I am now trying in my head to combine a lot of the strengths and weaknesses of this plan. So strength, Nox is a bard and is a seasoned performer. Weakness, this plan is ludicrous.
welcome to Total Party Kill, everybody. Players, you are fitting in.
It feels very
So-
Devil Wears Prada. He's just going to be whispering in his ear. Like, what's coming up next?
So
Yeah.
I think we
I
need
think it's
to
time
step
I think
out
it's time to see what
together.
happens. What?
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is a really fun
So
way
I-
to lead into combat, so that's great.
yeah, if all this fails, I can just breathe fire on them. So.
Yep.
I feel like meanwhile Elena is in the back being like, why don't we just throw knives?
No, I support it. I love it.
Okay.
I want to see how it goes.
All right.
Okay. So
Furion's
I
already
guess-
making the hand gestures for Firebolt, right? Like he's just
Yeah.
like, I'm ready. I'm ready.
I think you got to be careful about holding them all the time. That's
Well,
dangerous.
they're just, ready to
I'm
go.
just saying that's how a weasel
That's
gets
how
set on
fire
fire.
starts. Yeah.
It's like a pilot light.
It's moving back.
So
Hold on.
Nox, I think there's been a lot of planning here in this moment as the goblins are like, hey. So I think it's time to see what happens.
All right. So Max, are you ready to speak for me?
Yep.
Okay. Let's do this.
Are you going to step out?
Yeah, the goblins are waiting for you, team. So, Nox steps out from around the corner. Nox, you're in a slightly wider, filthy, dimly lit hallway. You see two goblins kind of standing at the end there. I'll tell you, the goblins are the kind of greenish, brownish skin, short little creatures. One of them, kind of further back by the door, is armed with like a little crossbow. It looks like probably he scavenged from somewhere. There's one that's kind of been walking down the hallway exploring what's going on because he was aware of something around the corner. And this goblin, I mean, he's wielding it like it's a sword, but it's basically just a long, jagged piece of metal that really looks, I guess it's just like a thing that you would use to give someone tetanus at this point. And he sees you and kind of is somewhat startled to see you. Yeah. Oi, who are you?
It is I, Graham, the Goblin God. I'm merely bringing through some prisoners, which I have taken capture of. I have quite a crew. I had to send the biggest and strongest of all the Goblin Guard, as you can very clearly see, because I have about 5 prisoners that I'm bringing through. I would ask for you to make way so I can escort them to the prison chambers.
So I'm going to need a variety of checks. Stage and things.
20 dice rolls later.
I'm just
Find out how
trying to figure
badly
out
this goes.
So,
Don't we have
all
6
right,
and a half prisoners?
yeah. So first off,
Live.
Nox, the goblins have a chance to see through your disguise, do they not?
I believe they can.
Jason, you just read us the text of disguise self.
Jason's got the book.
Yeah, to discern that you're disguised, a creature can use its action to inspect your appearance and must succeed on an intelligence check against your spell save.
Okay.
They don't seem very clever.
No, they don't seem very clever. I think they certainly don't have advantage. I don't think they have disadvantage either, so I think I'm just going to roll it as is. I will also tell you they're not very clever. So I'm just going to roll a d20. The Goblin Intelligence modifier is 0. First roll of the day. Goblins rolled a 5. So
Yay.
they have not immediately recognized you as not a goblin. On to other elements. Let me work my way down my bullet list of your preposterous plan.
Ventriloquism.
Yeah. All right. So I feel like this is kind of like I think the closest thing I can describe this as is like a joint performance.
Yeah.
So Max, I think I need a performance check from you because you're kind of throwing your voice a little bit, and Nox, I think I need a performance check from you because you're trying to be a puppet.
You're a puppet. you're a dragon, a giant goblin.
19 plus 1 is 20.
Okay, my performance.
My first useful roll of this entire adventure.
I've got +5 on performance, and I roll a 16 plus 5, 21.
Oh boy.
All right. So those are very strong rolls. I'm just going to get this out of the way now. It seems like, I mean, we're only a little bit into this first hour here. This is the stupidest, most ludicrous thing I've seen in D&D in a while. James,
More than the Adventurers Pyramid.
Catapult.
James, you get inspiration.
Yay.
So again, inspiration is a do-over on a roll. You can only hold one inspiration at a time. So, at some point, use that.
I have a suspicion we're going to need to use it in about
All right.
the next 5 minutes.
So the goblin at the front says, Grak not recognize you from around the tribe. What'd you say your name is again?
Graham the Goblin Guard.
Graham the Goblin Guard.
Yeah,
Strong.
you wouldn't be used to seeing me because I typically am so deep within the prisons because of my stature and strength. I'm there as keeping those prisoners down. But again, as I said, there's so many of them to bring through because of a really successful adventure today that they sent me out to come and bring them in.
The Grak is the name of this goblin who's questioning you. He looks over his shoulder, kind of not sure what to do with his friend. Skronk, what you think? And the other goblin says, I don't care. The goblins are going to roll one, I think. So I think you've convinced the goblins that you are a goblin, and you have five prisoners in tow. I'm going to give the goblins one last intelligence check to try and see through this. I think I'm going to do this at disadvantage because I think they're fooled so far, and the goblins are idiots. So I rolled a 12 and a 19. So with a disadvantage, that means I take the 12. I'm going to say that was not high enough for them to see through what's going on. So, Nox and Max, what's next?
Kill them.
So
Well,
No, they
So-
don't
they
see.
didn't
was such a
see through, or
shame.
they did see through.
They didn't. No, we're good. We can
Okay.
do whatever we want.
You
now.
have fooled these foolish goblins.
Right.
Side them up to them and then knife them in the side.
No, we're going to walk past them.
Yeah, I feel like this is maybe the only time that we will get this
All right,
opportunity
the perp walk.
to do
Yeah.
something
Okay.
where we actually succeed.
All right.
So, I think, Max, you need to shout back to everyone to follow us.
Okay.
Be
Because
aggressive.
it's your voice that is the key here.
Okay. Come on in, you lot. Follow me.
All right. So
Just
Nox,
move-
you start
move
moving
through.
forward. Max, you're Maximilian, you're following Nox. Valo, you're behind Max. No, let me just kind of let me ask some questions. Just one more question. So Max, how much like
Columbo.
yes, Max, how much like a prisoner do you look like now?
Very prisonery.
How much do you feel like a prisoner?
I feel like we're all walking with like our hands behind our back and
Sure.
our heads down, like.
All right, I'm just
we're
saying.
Very
pretty
sad.
demoralized.
Maximilian, you are a thundering, tall half orc of a man. You've got like a giant axe, right?
Well,
What
Not
was that?
like immediately in my hand, of course.
Yeah, I'm wondering a little bit about how convincingly you can portray a prisoner with little preparation. What do you think?
Oh, I think, these prisoners are so afraid of the goblins that it doesn't even matter if they have their weapons. They're
All right,
not going to do anything.
so I think Max, I'm looking for a performance check from you to portray a convincing goblin prisoner.
6. I have an inspiration point. which I can
Please use
use
it.
at this
It's a
moment,
good moment.
which I was
feel like
given
the
out
DM
of the stream
trying to get us
for
into
my
a
Adventurers
fight.
Pyramid. I am going to use my inspiration point because it would just be such a shame. So I'm going to roll again.
Do it.
14.
All right. That's pretty solid. All right, so why don't you continue to move along? So this is this cramped, filthy, dimly lit hallway, and the goblins are right in there. So you're literally walking like right next to the goblins, and you got to kind of weave through them to get to the door. Nox is leading them away. Max, you're moving through, and the goblins are looking at you kind of suspiciously. You're even taller than the Graham, the goblin guard, so they're suspicious of you. Valo, you are next in
Yes.
line. Velo.
Yes.
So
I don't have any weapons. I'm short and innocent looking.
do you think it would be? I think you will do a performance check also, and I will say you have an advantage because of your lack of visible weapons, whatnot.
Okay. Wait. What did I type again? Roll. Wait. No. Don't.
On the top left, there's like a little pane of buttons, including
yes,
Yep.
yes.
You can do /roll space and then d20 plus whatever.
I've rolled a 6. However, what's the disadvantage?
I told
You
you
got
you had
advantage, so you
advantage.
can
You,
roll
get to
again.
roll twice and take the highest.
Yay!
So hint,
Okay, come on.
don't take that one. So.
But you might also have a modifier.
One.
Inspiration
A 1.
point.
Liz has rolled a 6 and a 1, so
I
that
got
would be a 6, which is not great. Apparently, this is the time where people are just burning their inspiration like mad. 'Cause Liz, you said you want to use inspiration.
I want to use my inspiration.
All
That's the
right,
spirit.
Okay.
do it. Reroll.
On D20. 9!
So, do you have any performance modifier?
Yes, +2. 11.
Okay, that is not great, but not awful. Getting above 10 is usually pretty good. All right, so they look at you also suspiciously, but you continue moving on. El Scorcho, you are a somewhat fearsome-looking creature. I forget. Do you have visible weapons, or do you have things that you could easily conceal?
I think I have tuckable weapons.
Okay, tuckable.
I chose my weapons
It's a class
on
of
their
weapon.
tuckability.
It's tuckable.
Tuckable. All right. Why don't you give me a performance check with advantage?
Okay, so that means I am rolling for and then adding performance to it.
Yep, and you get to, because you have advantage, roll twice and take the higher.
20.
That'll
Plus?
do it.
1?
So that's great. That sounds really great. How is El Scorcho selling to these goblins that you are just the prisoneriest of prisoners?
I'm let's see. Oh, I had to think about some things.
Yeah.
I think you're looking very sad.
Yeah, my head's down. I'm sad. I have Fox is tucked underneath my cloak area.
Oh,
that I
you
might
have a fox
just to keep me
prisoner.
safe. Yeah. And I think I'm struggling.
A single tear rolls down my cheek.
That's
Yeah.
it. Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah.
And instantly turns into steam against
I mean,
all the
especially, I think, El Scorcho, you have a variety of abilities to, like, look particularly menacing and fiery and demonic, and, like, all those are turned down to 1 right now, maybe.
Yeah, I have my hair is covering my horns a little bit. So
Yeah.
how about that? Yeah, a little.
All right. So, again, goblins eye you suspiciously, but allow you to pass by. Olena, I think you are probably well suited for this endeavor because your main weapons are daggers, right? Which are very concealable,
Daggers.
and I feel like we don't even really know how many daggers you have. I feel like perhaps that is something you don't even
not to know.
necessarily advertise to the group.
They're all hidden. You don't need to worry
Daggers for
about
days.
them. And I'm just a tiny little elf,
Yeah.
half elf. They wouldn't be worried about me.
No, why would they?
I
so
don't
you
even need to roll. We can just move on.
I think you can roll with advantage. So,
Okay, the D20, right?
Yeah.
yep.
Oh,
Remember, you got advantage, so
11.
roll twice, take the higher.
okay.
And you might have a performance modifier.
Yeah, so it's 11 in total.
Okay, that'll do it.
Oh, and 19 plus 3. So yeah.
All right. Yeah, you are
fooled them.
yes, that you are projecting Wayward Orphan firing on all engines. So
This is the best acting troupe I think these goblins have ever
Yes.
seen.
yeah. I mean, they don't know that, but
we
yes.
found our retirement life, just like a big improv group.
Yeah.
And
That's gonna
then
be the retirement life of
Furion.
this crew.
Furion, you're bringing up the lead.
Yeah, I am holding Meepo's hand and dragging him along as if he's like a little child.
Okay. Meepo seems confused, but I feel like Meepo goes along with a lot of things.
And I got a 19.
Okay.
Ooh.
And I'm not going to roll for Meepo because, I don't think you guys need to see me sitting around rolling for things. Meepo, yeah, I think Meepo is part of your performance. So I'm going to say you all successfully move along. The door the goblins were guarding was unlocked, so you can just proceed through that north of where they were, the little hallway there. Let me just find my notes if there's important description of this room. And
If there's more goblins in this, we're just going to be rolling performance for the rest of this game.
where does this adventure just end? So where does it go? Like, you just have to like embrace the goblin prisoner life, and it's like this is, what if you
This is who I am
forget
now.
who you
This
were?
is where I live.
Yeah, roll to maintain your dominant personality. So do you want to move yourselves north of the hallway with goblins into this little chamber here?
Yeah. Sure. Move in.
Yep. So this little chamber here is empty. You're past. It's dusty. It's filthy. Goblins don't seem to sweep their dungeons very much. I'm not really sure if anyone does a lot of dungeon sweeping. And you make your way into there. Does somebody want to be Furion? You're responsible for moving Meepo around, I think. Do you have the ability to move Meepo?
I can't move Meepo.
Let me give you the ability to move Meepo.
Nobody can. He's stone and emotionless.
It looks like for some reason I can't let you move Meepo, so maybe I'm just gonna have to move Meepo. That's fine. All right. So let me just tell you, you arrived. There's a little. You've left the hallway. The goblins, kind of scowl at you as you go past. Probably they're just jealous of Graham and how many prisoners he's brought in. You're in a little empty room past the hallway. I'm gonna say you probably closed the door behind you so you can catch your
Can
breath.
we lock it?
It does not appear to have a working lock on it. The only thing in this little room, a little square chamber, there's the door you entered to the south, a door you have not yet explored to the north, and the room is dusty. There's nothing exciting here.
So,
Or so it seems.
Do you think I should maintain my goblin appearance for the hour that I can use it?
Well, I feel like we should see what we can intuit from this door, right? So maybe if we have Elena try and peek through, and then we can work it out, right? Because if there's more goblins in that next room, then yes, we will continue this ruse
Well, I mean, there's
until
no
we
reason
die
to get
from it.
rid of the goblin look right now.
There's no reason, right? As it stands right now, there's no reason to get rid of it.
It's like when the
Because
bank
it's not
robbers
going to
take off
help
their
you
mask too
by
early.
being a dragonborn.
Yeah, you don't want to do
maybe.
that.
Yeah.
Keep it on.
If we're in a fight and one of us looks like a goblin, they might be confused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it could. That which could be
Meepo suddenly
an
looks
advantage.
startled. Where did that goblin come from? Or sorry, kobold voice.
Massive
Where did
goblin.
that goblin come from?
Should I roll to peek inside the next room?
Yeah, just give me a second to pull up my notes
Oh.
about the next room.
I wonder how long an hour feels like in D&D. Is that
Forever.
how long? Yeah, okay.
Given the
all right,
speed we're
so-
traveling.
So, Elena, do you want to do anything to explore the door? Or do you want to
Yes.
just open the door? What would you like to do?
Oh, no. I'll peek inside. I'm curious
Okay.
what's on the other side.
So why don't you give me a stealth check to try and peek through the door or peek around the door without being seen.
So it's 15 with the modifier.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you crack the door open just a little bit. So only Elena has seen this. You see kind of a large area beyond. Looks like there's an old fountain. You see a door on the western wall, and then it looks like the chamber kind of continues like a little hallway to the north.
Let's go in.
You see no obvious goblins in the room.
So I'm going to tell my crew that, guys, doesn't appear that anyone is on the other side of this door, but there's a weird statue. I've seen this stuff before. You can't trust the statue. So who wants to go in first?
A fountain is
as-
totally
as-
different than a statue.
I think
So considering we don't see
okay.
any immediate goblin threat, maybe I should go in
so
first.
there's
There's
goblins.
stuff in there. Let's have a look.
Okay, so
You think?
Velo has proceeded into the room.
Yep.
Okay, shall we
so-
just wait 5 minutes and see what happens?
Rude. Let's have a, can I do a thing that I can look at the statue fountain thing?
Yeah. Do you
I
want
want
to
to know
roll?
more about that.
Do you just want to roll perception, or do you want to do something else, something fancy?
I'll roll perception.
I think you
All
should
right.
just drink from the fountain. I mean, what could go
That's
wrong?
a 9. Do I have any exciting modifiers? +1. It's a 10.
10, exciting. You look at this fountain. It's very old. There is no water in the basin of the fountain. It's just there's kind of some scum, fountain scum that has built up, and the fountain looks like a kind of ornate stone dragon.
Ooh, dragons.
Oh, yeah, well,
No, Fox, don't drink that
this
water.
is the dragon cult.
Well, there is no water to drink, so Fox also don't lick that scum, I guess.
Don't lick the scum.
So-
No. Stop licking the scum.
Can I investigate the fountain?
Sure. If you roll a perception check, you might learn something
Oh, just
beyond.
perception.
Yeah.
What? Isn't that what Velo just did?
Indeed.
Oh, I don't want to do it again, right?
Okay.
There's
We can keep doing it. I mean,
no.
You
no,
might get a
let's
higher
just
score.
move
I
on.
only got 10.
I want to ask Meepo if he knows anything about where we are and where we're headed.
Oh.
Good.
Smart.
Meepo says, "Nope. I mean, I think this is the.
Useless.
I mean, I think this leads to the back door to the goblin territory. I mean, we saw goblins. That seems right.
Yep. Good job, Meepo. Thank you.
Yeah." I totally am not maintaining my Meepo voice from previous Meepo appearances. I'm sorry. sorry, Kobold listeners. I'll do better.
Okay. So
Yeah,
are we going- are
Meepo
we
has
trying
never
the
been to
door?
this room before.
What are we doing here, gang?
That
Check
is
the
a
other
great
door.
question.
Yes.
I think check the door.
Yeah. Check the door.
Or is it? What's
me.
behind that door?
Yeah, yeah. You've got
Okay.
you've got the stealth
Okay.
skills. Check the door.
Let's do
you're the
this
door
again.
person.
Oh, it's a 10.
What are you rolling for 10? Or what is the 10 in
The
correspondence to?
result was 10 of the stealth check.
Of stealth.
Stealth check on the door.
All right. So, Elena, I will tell you, you move over to the door that Fury and Maximilian are standing near. That door? Yep.
Yeah.
So you approach the door. This door is different than the other doors that you have seen in the dungeon. It's not wood. It's stone, and it's very ornately carved. There's a bunch of kind of skeletal dragons carved into the stone of this door. You also recognize some text written in Draconic, though I don't believe you can read or write Draconic. And as you approach the door, the air is noticeably cooler, and the door itself is cold to the touch as you explore it.
Oh,
Do you want to try and
that was
open
an
the door?
ice dragon, right?
I think there's a freezer in there.
Can Nox can read.
Probably
Yeah,
dry
I can
corpses.
read
Yeah.
Draconics, so
I'm just checking with Olena because it's still kind of her turn, as it were.
Yeah,
Olena, do you
I'm
want to try
just-
and open
sorry.
the door?
Yes, I want to open the door.
All right.
God.
oh no.
I'm sure this will provoke something since it's only 10. It's gonna creak the hell out of it.
As Olena approaches the spooky cold door, you try to open the door stealthily, but it does not budge. And there's a whoosh as a scythe springs out from the ceiling.
What a horrible surprise!
yeah.
It attacks you for 20 versus your armor class. So that'll hit.
Oh.
But you're very nimble. You manage to kind of avoid part of it. You take 3 scythe damage.
Oh, that's not too bad.
And,
Okay, I can.
but
do
also
that.
probably you feel like maybe you shouldn't try that again right away.
no.
I think Nox should read what the words say on the
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
Why
good
don't we
idea.
do that now?
Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
You said, I think he should. You didn't
Do it.
say
Well,
Nox now reads
okay.
it.
Nox, read
Roll
the
a
words.
perception check. Come on.
James,
Yeah.
you gotta differentiate between me. What is Nox thinking versus what is Nox doing? Nox needs to be a dragon of action. So
Yeah. Well, this dragon of action is gonna go and read Read the words. What does it say?
Rolled action, which is Dragon of Action, which is you can just read it because you're literate. So, carved into the western door, between some of the skeletal dragons, is a draconic inscription, and you can read it. It just clearly says, "Rebuke the dead, open the way."
Rebuke
Okay, I think we
the
should
dead.
say the dead
Okay.
are rubbish, and then
So-
And I would say, Nox, you are very aware of the cold feeling emanating from the door and the air around the door.
So I will tell the rest of the party, what I just read. And what was it? It was rebuke
the dead, open the way. Is that
open the way.
that's
So
exactly
if we do
Tony,
something.
I would like to, with that knowledge translated from Nox, I want to roll Arcana on the door and see if there is a magical thing happening with this door.
All right.
Magical scythe.
10.
You're not sure.
All right.
I would like to roll Arcana because I have a big and thingy number in it.
Yeah, so do I, but then I rolled badly.
All right.
Okay,
Velo.
that is not helping. I should just press the button. 11
Oh, no.
plus 5,
Now mine
so
dropped.
16.
Tony.
Have we?
Oh no.
I'm sure this is because it's really
Such a
important
roll.
info. Got to build
It's-
up the anticipation.
This is the dramatic.
Now I
oh, no,
can't
he
hear you,
says,
he says.
Oh no!
Tony.
Hi.
Log out.
I hear all you now.
Okay.
But I
Oh,
didn't, and I see that Liz rolled an 11, but I didn't hear about it.
It was
Plus
16.
5, so it's a 16.
All right. Velo, you summon all that you know about the mystic arts and also doors, and conclude that this door is magically sealed, and that it would take more than just physically opening it with a knob, or even a very skilled rogue or thief would not be able to open it. Yeah, so I will say that, and I will tell you specifically, it seems to be sealed with some kind of necrotic forces that perhaps some extra spooky magic of the undead variety.
Okay,
So-
I tell the party what I have learned from my Duda.
Well, I wonder if the fountain is related.
Yeah, this to me feels like not a thing to work out
Yeah.
now. We've
I
got
think
other
we should.
paths.
I think we should
Well-
look up the corridor.
Yeah.
north
Yeah.
and see
Good
what's around
idea.
the corner.
Well, we might have to come back. But
Exactly.
I'm just wondering, like,
The corridor is also spooky.
Tony, if I is this one of those things where we as human players have to figure out the secret, or could I roll insight or something and roll my way to a solution?
Not insight, but I mean, do you want to roll wisdom?
Sure. I mean, insight's a wisdom, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yes.
Just roll wisdom. Straight up wisdom.
19.
All right. Well, Furion is a super nerd. Furion, you would know that there are magic spells that let you just open any door. There are also a variety of magic spells that kind of would kind of dispel or basically banish undead spirits. Turn undead being your classic one. I don't think any of those are things that perhaps your characters have currently, but those would probably be things that would be apropos to this door situation.
So we can't burn it down with fire.
No, it's made of stone. I
Can
mean,
we
but-
take the Skype?
Depends on how
Right.
hot the fire is.
Let's
Okay, I really think we should go look up the corridor.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
yeah.
Tiff, did you have something you wanted to say? Or
I said, can
offer
we
in there?
take the Skype with us?
It has basically it's a trap, right? So it springs out, shunk, and then springs back into the ceiling.
Aw, bummer. I
So
was just kinda
you
laying on
could
the floor.
try, but it's not just sitting there waiting for you to
Well,
take it.
I
leave it
jump
alone.
on it, and you roll acrobatics to
Just
try and
L,
grab it.
L, do you want to explore the slot that the scythe
No.
sprung out of?
No.
It's all good.
Hard pass. No.
Hold on. Fox, do you want to explore the?
Fox is all high on drinking the goo from the fountain. So
It's a serious rap on Fox.
Do we want to
fountain
check
scum.
out the fountain before we go up? Has anyone done an
Yeah,
There's
we
been a
did
couple of
some
checks done on
perception
it.
doodads, and it's
Okay.
a fountain with
I
scummy
vote
stuff in it.
corridor.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Somebody stealthy
Okay. Corridor.
peek out
Move on.
into the corridor.
Yeah.
All right.
Go
All
sneaky
right.
person.
I recommend
Alright.
being close to the front because
Yeah.
we don't know what is through this corridor. Do we
Okay,
agree?
shall we take the lead?
Yes. Oh, yes, because you're still disguised, aren't you?
Yeah.
Are you
And I
sending
need you
Elena?
within
Are you
about-
going ahead to scout, or are you moving as a group? What are you doing?
What are we going to do?
I think we should charge it.
Meepo says, "Yeah, great idea."
Thanks, Meepo.
I'm a bit worried to go ahead seeing that I've lost 3 hit points.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
Skype
so.
me
So,
once.
I'll
Yeah.
leave it
Okay.
to Tank.
I
Let's
think our,
use
uh,
disguise formation.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll
Who's
be-
the
Time for a
tankiest?
tall
Who's got-
goblin.
Yeah.
Go,
I think
go for it, giant goblin
Graham.
people.
Graham, the Goblin God.
Since
Max
Everyone's-
needs to stay within about 30 centimeters of me.
Yep.
for-
yeah, adult. Hey, Tony. Since
American listeners, that's 7 yards.
Okay. hey, Tony, since disguise self makes you 1 foot shorter in this case, if he sticks his head out to see around the corridor, does nothing appear because
Ooh,
he's
I like
shorter?
I don't know.
Does he have a foot of like open space where he's like,
Knox,
you know,
how
one of
does
those
your
people
magic? How does your magic work?
who's got like the giant mascot head above them, but they see out of the neck? It's like that in reverse.
But the opposite. Just a pair of eyes.
Yeah, no,
Nothing
mine
else.
is proper, illusion shape changing stuff. So
Yeah.
I think that's
So you think
It's a
so?
small room.
Yeah.
All right, Knox, I will tell you, you poke your head out. The corridor kind of seems to connect with another corridor here. You see, like, basically a dead end to your right. That would be to your east. And to your west, so that's left. I'm really bad at translating these in my head. There's a very short corridor with a door. But I will also tell you, you can see down the dimly unlit corridor. The corridor goes for quite a ways. Looks like it opens into a larger chamber a ways ahead, but you see many side passages off of that with doors that are ajar. Why doesn't everybody give me a quick perception check, and I'll tell the person who gets the highest what they experience.
I'm perceiving some things right now without
15.
rolling.
21.
11.
The number to beat
3.
so far is 21.
10 plus something, so not 21.
I think we're probably good with Jason's.
Yeah.
Woohoo! I won something.
Furion, you notice the familiar, distinctive smell of rat.
Rats.
Are we going to
Furion
get attacked by
says,
rats again?
and he doesn't go rats.
Zoodalors.
Well,
Actually, I think what Furion
Wait,
goes
are
is goes,
you Canadian?
as one thing that you can't learn in the book is what smells are, but that's a rat smell.
Unless it's a scratch and sniff
I
book.
read several books about smells, but
Is-
in the end, they all don't make any
Is
sense
the
because you
rat
can't
smell
describe
stronger
smells.
from straight ahead?
Yeah, I will
which
say
direction?
the waft of eau de rat is coming from the north. Furion, you got a very good perception roll. I'll even tell you, there's a variety of footprints going back and forth in the dust in this little cross section here, and it looks like there's goblin footprints coming and going from the door to the north. There are rat tracks. I'm sorry, door to the west. There is no door to the north. So door to the west, goblin footprints coming and going. To the passageway to the north, there's a variety of rat tracks coming and going. There's also, it looks like, there are several tracks of, they're quite old and kind of blurry to see in the dust, but it looks like boot tracks. So somebody wearing boots. The goblins do not wear boots.
Boots
The
is
goblins
good because if
Yeah.
we
Which
all
way are the
remember, the
boots
reason
going?
we're here.
The boot tracks, I will tell you, boot tracks both going to and from the north.
Okay.
okay, so
Okay.
that's
I think-
probably the people we're looking for.
We're not here to look
Yeah,
for
but
goblins.
that's-
We're here to avoid
that's a
goblins.
rat trap.
And find
Yeah.
people.
Fox is starting to growl, and so I think we just book it down this hallway to the other end.
We're
as
going
far
to
as
get
we can
attacked
see.
by rats.
No,
There's
just like book it.
6
Like,
doors. Each one of them could have 100 rats behind it.
That is true.
I say we go in
go
no
home.
doors.
Hold on,
Let's
let
just
me
go
just
home
do the math
and
on
make it
that.
down the hallway.
That could be 700 stone of rat. Sorry.
Okay,
Unit
I-
conversion jokes will never not be funny to me.
Oh, God.
I'm ready to fight.
All right, let's go get attacked by
Okay,
rats.
fine.
I think we edge it down. I don't think we want to go too far down the hallway, right?
I
'Cause
think
that
we
could
go
potentially
to
open us
the
up to everyone.
the first set of doors.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what's going to happen. We're going to.
I think we put our
They're
backs
not
against
fooled
the
by
wall.
disguise.
Mission Impossible, walk ourselves down the hallway and then run past each open door.
I think you should roll like a stealth thing, whoever is going, so we have the element of surprise.
Yeah.
My human perception
Yeah, what
sees
happens?
tokens moving.
Did you see the rats? There's a rat.
There's something.
Liz, I'm sorry. I'm also not sorry because that was awesome.
It also looks like there's something off at the right-hand side.
No, stop that. Stop that.
Stop looking. There's no man behind this curtain.
Oh my god! I told you, there's rats down there.
You know what? Furion.
Rat just ran across the corridor. You see it?
Now,
Liz, are
we
you talking about on the screen or in your house? I can't tell.
Do we have any
Yeah.
grenades
you
or
st- as-
bombs or anything?
Yes. As you stand there debating this, you are aware of rats kind of skittering back and forth across the hallway from darkened doorway to darkened doorway.
How
Should not be scared of rats.
How do rats feel about goblins? Are they friends?
Can I roll a stealth and see if I can make it all the way past all these open doors?
Stealth running.
Very agile.
A big jump.
This is
Oh,
What
you could,
about
I mean, let me L. The answer as a dungeon master, the answer is you can try.
What about sending Fox to do a little stealthy reconnaissance?
Oh, reconnaissance. Yeah.
Reminder that Fox has a single hit point.
Yeah. No, Fox doesn't go.
Okay.
He's more of like a therapy weasel than anything.
I just want to point. I'm more attached to Fox than I am to any of you. So
all right. Someone's got to go first in that corridor, unless we're checking out the goblin-y one.
Well, the goblin-y one, we
No,
could
we
probably
gotta-
get in using our goblin double act, but I think we go
We got to
north.
go north.
All right. Who's going first? Go
Okay,
for it.
I think the
Tough
two
guys.
tanks will go up to the first set of doors.
Go for it. Go very slowly.
It's always the
Don't-
tank.
God, that wasn't so. Oh, was it, James? You just piled in there.
I've got a high dexterity. I just zoom.
I don't know. Does slow mean something different in Scotland? I don't understand. So
Well, time passed, and then I was there.
okay.
Oh God, you're going to get
So,
attacked by rats.
Nox and Max have made the decision to saunter north into what is clearly a rat haven. Which is like a tax haven. It's actually not different than a tax haven at
Where
all.
people pull all their rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Keeping
again,
out of the
not
way of
that
the rat
different.
government.
So Nox and Max are sauntering forward. Is everyone else hanging back to watch them be eaten by rats, or what's the plan?
Yes. Bye bye.
I think it's a good idea to
No,
hold
we're
back a
gonna
little
follow.
bit. Well, no, because
Okay.
the rest of the party have ranged attacks, right? Like, I feel like
Yeah, we're
this
gonna
isn't a
stay in
bad
the back,
idea.
but
Yeah, you're going
we're
to draw
there.
out the
set
rats,
fire
and
to
then we'll
something.
pick
Yeah.
off the rats as they eat
I
you.
think that's a good idea, genuinely. Like, me
Yeah.
and James, we have the highest armor classes and HPs, and
Yeah.
we're good at close range attacks. We've got a bit of space between us
and
now. I
also
So
think
we
it makes
send
sense.
Meepo first.
No, you'll immediately die. Meepo is. I can't imagine Meepo being very strong.
He's
I
a bit
mean,
useless, but at least we. Yeah.
Meepo is
You
not
guys-
strong.
Meepo, are you good with
How
rats?
do you feel about rats?
We've also
He likes to eat
Meepo
rats.
loves delicious rats. Meepo fed rats to his dragon.
Do you know how to catch rats?
Yes, the key is to get them small.
so
Well,
I noticed that we are standing next to doors. So
Yeah,
what we
let's
could
move
do
on.
is
Let's-
dive
okay,
in
fine.
the
I'm
side
prepared to
doors.
keep going.
So what's a high armor class? What's a high number that you're talking about?
I have 18.
Okay.
I have 14, so I'm not quite.
I also
as-
have 14. So
Where's the
I have
armor
one.
class?
Well, get in
when we
there.
do that? Oh,
Yeah,
right.
get in
okay,
there.
I
Yeah,
don't
get
have
in.
armor class.
all right,
but,
all right.
But but you do have spells which are ranged, right?
Yes.
So you can attack from far
So,
away. Like
Tony,
that's
I'm
kind
like
of what I mean.
slightly. I'm like halfway.
Tony, should we just describe? I mean, I assume we're just getting an order, and we're going to all try to march down this hallway, or some. Well, I guess some
Okay.
of us are hanging back to do ranged. That's sort of what I was
Yeah.
going to do. So
Yeah.
So I mean, I guess I'm leaving some of it up to see what all of you do. So Nox and Max, you head north. again, this is this hallway there are 3 doors to the left and 3 doors to the right. The doors are all kind of parallel to each other. So you have reached the first set of doors with doors to your left and right. The doors are ajar. Even you with your slightly lower perception rolls are now overcome with the smell of rat. What do you want to do here?
Around the door.
James, what's your stealth?
What do you think? I'm like a massive dragon.
Just stick your invisible
But
head
like, is it a
round the door.
minus?
No, it's actually a +2 and
What
Dex
if
is
we-
really high. So
Right, we need
yeah.
to. What do they call it? Split the pie or whatever. We need to like take a room each.
Okay,
Oh my god!
right.
But Tony,
I've got actually pretty good.
The human footprints are just headed north, right? They're
Yeah, I want to follow the human footprints
The
straight
human
north and
footprints
try
seem
and
to
get
head
past the doors.
straight north. There are a lot of rat tracks at this point.
Take a
I have
peek
an
in the
idea,
rat
Max.
rooms.
Why don't we close these doors?
Not a bad idea.
Okay, so I think we step forward at the same time
Yep.
and slam those 2 doors.
So I guess we're rolling a
Quietly.
strength check, right?
What was that?
If we're going to try and close these doors, would we roll for strength so we can like push them closed?
Maximilian Thundercliff, you're capable of closing a door without rolling.
Okay,
I'm a big boy.
let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. You slam, or I mean, I
Quietly.
maybe I
Quietly
Quiet slam.
quietly, but firmly close the 2 doors.
Okay. Step 1.
Now,
All right, Nox. There is something. There's a rustling, and there is desperate scratching and scrambling behind your door.
Yeah,
Max, your door is
definitely
quiet.
know we're here now. My door's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
Stay there.
Nox. I will just tell you, something is trying to push your door open.
Hold it
Can I
good.
set a fire on Nox? Can I create a bonfire on Nox to sort of like...
what?
First, Velo. Absolutely. I'm not sure how that is relevant to the situation at hand, but absolutely.
Nox, could you just pop out of that square there, and I'm going to put a little bonfire on it, so if anything gets through,
What?
it will be burned before it gets
I
done.
think that's a good
Have you
plan.
seen how high rats can jump?
No, I think it's worth
It'll
it.
be a
right?
very tall bonfire.
I'm really nervous about a rat on fire trying to bite us.
It's a,
I mean-
They're very angry when they're on fire.
I can
Yeah.
can use that.
I'm going to tell
does
you,
this-
as you are debating your plan, there's movement from the other doors,
Nah.
Oh dear.
and this is now a rat situation.
Cool. Well, what we have now learned is Nox can't move.
Yes.
Okay, can we? Okay,
Can-
are
can-
we
is
fighting
this-
then? Let's fight. Let's
We're
get some
fighting.
bonfires
Come on.
down. Come on.
Let's do
Okay, can this door...
All right,
can I lock this door or otherwise keep it from opening?
I mean, I would say that right now, just your physical presence, and we're going
Yeah,
to say
but-
these doors open out into the hallway. You are capable in the contest between you and a rat. Like, if it was you and a goblin, I would make you roll something, and I would make the goblin roll something. I'm going to say that the rat's lack of opposable thumbs, you simply holding the door closed, you do not
But
need
I-
to roll anything.
I need to
keep the-
stand here.
Yeah.
I would say you need to stand there. I will even say you could do stuff while standing there. You could just have your back to the door, and you are keeping the door closed.
Okay.
But yes,
Are
you would
all
need
of
to
us
be there.
capable?
I think the
all of
rats
us
are going to
capable
come
of
to us
keeping the door
anyway.
closed?
I think Meepo could come and hold that door, maybe.
Well,
Can Meepo hold the door?
All right, all right.
Me- Meepo is capable
me
of
and
holding
Velo
doors.
toss some fire
Okay.
at 2 different rats? Like, just get them out.
all right,
for it.
team. We need to roll initiative.
Yeah.
You have a lot of ideas.
Nox and Max
make-
are going to
What is
duck.
it we
We're going to
roll?
throw some fire, and we're going to take out that first section of
That
rats.
is a great plan. I would like to see you roll initiative, and we'll see what happens when. I will tell
Is it a
you,
D20?
the rats
Is it
rolled.
D20?
Yeah, it's a D20, and then you have an initiative modifier. I was talking a lot of smack there because I'm like, these rats are totally going to eat you people. The rats rolled 4.
17!
All right.
Wait,
You may
plus,
also have a modifier, Tiff. So,
Yeah, let me look.
Where? Oh, I get no modifier, but I got 14.
do you all see the turn
initiative?
order, and do you have the ability to put your numbers
Yeah.
into the turn order?
Yep.
What?
Just double click the
Yes,
number
that's
in the
one.
turn
So
order.
18 for me.
What was the modifier?
Initiative.
It's on your character.
It's on your character sheet. There's an initiative modifier. Next to your armor class, probably.
Oh, I didn't see that before.
Oh, yes, +2. Okay. So
I can't tell
rolled
if your number is
16.
old or not, so just let me know when you're all locked in there.
Yep.
I'm seeing
I'm
them
in.
kind of
Oh,
flipping
yeah,
and
we got to
flipping.
change that. Hold on. Adjusting. Oh, no.
We all roll pretty well, by and large.
And
Not
the
very
rats
useful
did
for
not.
initiative, but we did it anyway.
Liz, you got yours in. Tiff, you got
Yes.
yours in.
Yeah.
Jason, you're in. James, you're in.
Yeah.
Mike, you're in.
Yep.
And Adina, you're in. Okay, let me now sort by descending order. So, Olena, you are the first to react. You see, and you know, the squares I put these in are just a visual depiction. You have seen rats at the doorway. So you see 4 rats crawling around at the doorway. Maybe it would be more accurate to they're kind of like halfway between those spaces, right? So
Yeah.
You imagine, use the power of your imagination to imagine horrible giant rats peeking around the corner at all of you.
I can see it.
I will consult a bit with my party here to ask, what would you think about me throwing down the ground 1,000 or less ball bearings to destabilize these rats?
Holy moly!
Why do you?
Where did this
Adina, I
skill
thought we
come
were
from?
friends. You're destabilizing my rats.
I guess the only problem is we then need to walk through that corridor.
No, we
and
just
it'll be
need to set
covered
it
in
on
ball
fire.
bearings.
There will be fire.
Yeah, I can breathe fire. I could do a cone of fire down the whole thing. They're on ball bearings.
Do you have any other ranged attacks?
I do. I've got a crossbow.
Oh no, Adina, do you have ranged
Yeah,
attacks?
I do have. I can start with a short bow, but I'm gonna let you know that the option is there if this
The
is
ball
a
bearing option will always be available to us.
will always
Yeah.
be there. Okay.
But if we are next to the rats and the ball bearings go out, then
I think
It's
their
gonna be
feet are just
slippery.
way too small. They'll just kind of scamper around. We need to do that for a larger enemy.
That is a great thing to
dragon
keep
or
in the
something.
back pocket, though. That is comedically fantastic.
Yes.
Okay. Next time. I'll
Like,
throw
especially
one up.
Adina, if there was a set of stairs, sure, ball bearings would certainly inconvenience the rats. But like, if you were like, imagine somebody was chasing you up or down stairs, and you're like, haha, I'm just gonna put ball bearings here, and then that person would like fall.
Basically, the race
basically
car that
James
lets loose
Bond's Aston
tacks
Martin.
out of the back, which is amazing.
I've got an oil slick going on here, an ejector seat.
Yeah.
Adina, you have to tell me, are you secretly the Batmobile?
Black costume. I mean, it fits. Hidden blades.
No. So I'm gonna use my short bow, and I'm going to try to hit one of the rats in the first line.
Okay.
I'm going to. Is that a D20?
Mm-hmm.
So that's 14 with 5, 19.
All right, you plug the rat closest to you
You plug it. Huh?
Amazing.
with an arrow.
Amazing. And now damage. It's a D6 plus 3. So it's 6.
That is a lot of damage. That almost kills a giant
Almost.
rat.
Okay.
So let me record 6 damage here, and that rat is. I'll put a little red dot on it to let you know that rat does not look great.
Okay.
I mean,
So,
mentally and physically. Also, it's still a giant filthy rat.
can I-
It's rethinking its
actually,
life
no,
choices now.
What did you want to do?
Yeah, Adina, what did you want to do? It's
no,
still
I
your
had
turn.
another thing, but it's not for range attacks. Never mind. Let's move on to Maximilian.
Maximilian Thundercliff, you are shoulder to shoulder with your goblin in arms, Nox, formerly dragon. There are 2 filthy rats advancing on you. One of them has been badly hurt by an arrow protruding from its gut. There are 2 fresh rats in the back.
I have a question.
Yeah?
Considering the proximity, if I was to put away, like to put my shield on my back and go for a 2-handed strike, could I hit both rats at once?
No, I would say they emerge from separate doorways.
Interesting.
So they're, yeah.
That's interesting. Okay.
If the rats are stacked upon each other, say there are 5 rats in a trench coat, I will let you know that you can hit all the rats at once.
So I can only ever hit one square, right? Like is what you're
Yes,
saying.
and usually
All right.
only even, it is unusual that there would be more than one creature in a square at a time.
If the rats were all on a pyramid shape,
Yeah.
like they were
Yes,
trying a
rat-
sort of
The Rat Ventures Pyramid, if they were
Yeah.
doing team building activities right before you came in, Rat Trust Falls and all that, yeah, that would be a great opportunity.
but sadly we've missed it.
You know what? Teamwork is just not part of the core tenet of the giant rat dungeon culture. It's unfortunate. Somebody should
That's-
disrupt that.
That's why they fail.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna move forward square. So I'm gonna move forward to be right in front of the rat that's ahead of me, the one on the right hand
Yes.
side, the one that hasn't
You are
been injured.
leaving
I'm hoping
the
I
door
can just
that you
take
closed.
this one down. I have a quick question. So with my battle axe, there's a box that says hit +5, and I don't remember what that was. So I don't remember what that is. It's like hit/DC +5.
So you roll a d20
that
and
to
you
the
add
roll.
that number to your roll, and then
Yeah.
see if it beats their armor class.
Damn, I was
that's
not
on
doing
all of
that
your
last time.
weapons.
Okay, so I apologize to everybody. All right, so we get. Oh, that is an 11 against AC.
11 plus 5 or 11 total?
11 total.
All right. You swing your mighty battle axe, but the nimble rat darts back and forth, avoiding
Okay.
your blows.
All right, well, I'll take the damage that will eventually be coming my way.
Okay.
I think
Oh.
I think the armor class of the rat is 12.
Adina studied for this this session.
I watched the stream again.
Yes, you know that the armor class of a rat is 12.
Okay.
FYI.
Well, Adina knows. I don't know if Olena knows. So,
Elena knows. We've been fighting
Okay.
rats all along.
yeah, you slept. Some of you may have retained important memories from the previous day. Some of you not. El Scorcho, you are up next.
All right, I'm going to produce some flame at the undamaged rat that's in the front there. Mm-hmm. I think. Or should I take out the damaged one?
Well, if we take out the damaged one, it's no longer a threat.
Okay, I'm going to take out the damaged one. We're gonna
Yeah,
focus
take
on
out
You're
the damaged
going
one
to
because that
set a rat on
the
fire.
undamaged one's
Yep.
only going to hit me, right? So because I'm right in front of it, so just go
Okay.
for it.
All right, and so I think on my sheet it says I roll a d8 for that.
Well, you got to roll d20 first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, d20 to hit plus your modifier, and then
20. And then so
Yes.
that's for which modifier
Did
do I
you
use on
roll a
that?
20?
I did.
Yes, so you automatically hit on a 20. Don't bother doing any math.
Okay.
You get to roll damage. You'd even roll extra damage when you roll a 20. Let me tell you, the rat has 1 hit point. So well, instead of lightly setting the rat on fire, like maybe you would set normally you would have like set its tail on fire and it would have run around looking sad. You give that rat like a stare and the rat just combusts.
You would never have even known there was a rat there.
Yeah.
I
There's
think
just
this is
kind of a smoky silhouette of a rat in the tiles.
I think all the other rats should sort of just look over.
Yeah, can they back up? Are they scared? They should back up.
We'll see what happens on the rat's turn.
They could back away from the flaming
could.
rat. Yeah.
Maximilian should try to intimidate them again.
Elle, do you
yet.
want to do anything else? You could move or do other very small actions on your turn if you wanted, but you've done your kind of main action.
I'm going to make a suggestion, which is I wonder if Elle could offer to hold the door so that Nox can fight.
Yes. Yep. All right.
That's a
So
good
I'm going to take
idea.
over the door for Nox so he could fight.
All right. You were right adjacent to him, so we'll say that just happens. All right. Nox, you are next. You
gone
and
now.
Elle are holding a door. It does not require very much of your
against
energy
the rats. Revenge.
to hold a door closed against a single giant rat.
Okay.
I will
mean,
tell you, this seems comical and dumb, but it's actually, if there are 5 giant rats and you keep one from joining the fight, that's a huge deal. So,
Yep.
It's
you know,
20%
we take
fewer
you-
rats.
Wait around that door when that rat pops out.
Yeah,
You'll be in
and then
real
when that
trouble.
rat pops out, it has to fight 6 of you at once, plus Meepo. Yeah.
So I could either, I guess I'll move and is it me? Yes, it's me.
Yeah.
And I will use my rapier against the rat in front of Max.
You can do it. Again, like I've got a really high AC. If you want to go for one of the other ones, you can. Because that rat's just probably going to focus its attack on me, right?
Yeah, but if I move forward,
you can't
then
go
I have
past it.
3 rats around me.
Yeah.
You can't go past it because I get an opportunity attack, right? Is that
Yes.
Well, there's that. But yeah.
Well, I guess you could move forward and you'd still be in its range, so it wouldn't get an opportunity attack. But yes, then you'd be surrounded by rats.
it? Okay. Then do your thing, James. Sorry.
So I'm going to hit that rat with a rapier, which, not good. 2 plus 4, 6.
All right, you are stabbing at the ground, and the rat that has been already built up practice dodging axe blows is just, this rat is diving and, I don't know. I am reminded of a story where my housemates and I in college had some mice in the house, and the mice defeated 5 college students for several days. This is like that, but with giant rats and a dragon. So there was definitely a situation where we were chasing a mouse in the kitchen, and my friend tried to stamp on the mouse, and he stomped his foot, and then he couldn't see where the rat was, and someone said, I think the rat ran up your pants, and he ran out into the yard in January in the winter and took off his pants and ran around rolling in the snow because, listeners,
Well,
he thought there was a mouse in his pants. Spoiler, there was not a mouse in his pants.
I can see this going a similar way here.
Yes. So, Nox, that was your turn. Velo, you are further back in the hallway. There are 3
Burn 'em
rats that
down,
you can
Velo.
see.
Bonfires. Okay, I want to set a bonfire on this rat in the front here.
Okay.
I
Roll a d20.
yes, I know that. I do.
What spell
Create
is this?
bonfire.
Oh,
Jason, can you pull up create bonfire in case we need the details on that?
What happened? I can get the details here. No. I'm sure I remember reading the details on this about creating the sodding bonfire. Yeah, I do remember creating it. Where are the readables on the bonfire?
If
You
just-
create a
character sheet,
bonfire on
right?
ground, which you can see within range. Until the spell ends, the magic bonfire fills a 5-foot cube. Any creature in the bonfire space, that's the rat
Oh,
right now,
found it.
when you cast the spell, must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take a d8
Yeah.
fire damage. It must also take a saving throw when it moves into the bonfires for the space or ends its turn there. Probably when you create a bonfire, creatures are going to want to leave the
Yeah,
space
so
where
I've
the bonfire
effectively
is.
blocked
The
the
bonfire
corridor.
ignites flammable objects, which does not count as rats.
Rats
And,
are
pretty
flammable.
flammable.
That's not true.
Have you ever tried to set a rat
James.
on fire?
I was in Boy Scouts, yes.
Oh my god,
So what
Tony.
they do? No.
I would never set a rat on fire. I had pet mice as a kid. They're adorable. But I know that they do not exhibit any of the characteristics of things that can be set on fire. Like being a twig, or dead grass.
If you rub 2
Is that
dry
a
rats together.
bonfire? What the dickens?
You know what? Have you ever tried to create a fire by rubbing 2 sticks together? It takes a while. There's a reason we don't do that all the time anymore.
I've watched Castaway, so
Yeah.
Okay.
you know.
So, Velo, it sounds like that just happens. You don't
Yeah,
even need to roll
so
a
how
d20
does
for it. It just,
create
there is a
damage?
fire there.
I have a 1.
So, the rat needs to do a dexterity saving check. I suspect it is versus your spell.
It says hit / DC 12.
All right, so the rat is... Now, I tell you, rats are pretty nimble. Let me look up the rat's dexterity.
we know this rat is
No,
super
don't be
dexterous
nimble.
already.
Yeah, but this... don't be nimble, don't be quick,
Rat
don't
be
be
nimble,
a dire
rat be
rat.
quick. Rat jump
All right,
over a bonfire.
This rat rolled an 18 with its modifier. This rat is like a dancing in the fire.
It also has, if it tries to move out of that fire, it has to make a saving throw. So
Ooh.
I think it's if it moves
a
into
creature
the
must also
fire.
make the saving throw when it moves into on a turn or ends. Okay, fine. But I kind of blocked the corridor a bit with fire, so
How long does that
Forever.
fire last now? So, like, we have to move around that now, right?
To specify 1 minute. I also suspect you could probably, because you are magic, dispel it if you did not want it to last
yeah,
a
I
full
want it to
minute.
keep burning.
In fact, it
Leave it there.
Yeah,
we'll
it's-
leave it going, right?
is it concentration? No, it's just a minute. So it lasts a minute, or I think you can just say, I don't want there to be a
There's
fire
still a
there
fire
anymore.
there.
All right, Velo, you know what? You've gone after clearly the best rat that Tony brought to this party. And so this rat is doing great. It is Furion's turn.
All right, Furion is going to target this rat in the back.
Back rat.
And Furion holds out his hand, and a ball of fire appears in it, and he chucks it at that rat like he's throwing
Yeah.
a baseball.
Furion, like James Bond, always enjoys a good game of back rat.
Tony. No.
18 versus...
Mike, do not encourage me, Mike. 18 definitely hits a rat.
And it's 8 damage.
Let me tell you, rats have 7 hit points.
Fireball, boom, gone.
Oh, God, that was good, Tony.
No, do not encourage this. This
That
is
was
not
so good.
All right. That rat is gone. So I'm just gonna move the rat corpses slightly aside.
Furion says,
It's pretty
"Knowledge
good.
is
2
power."
dead.
Yeah. All right. So, well, it is now. It's the turn that the listeners are all waiting for. Oh, I forgot to add Meepo to the order. I'm sorry, Meepo.
Oh boy.
Don't kill me, Poe.
Can you imagine? Meepo transforms into a fire-breathing dragon, and
Meepo is going to go on turn 0. The giant rats are going. The turn the listeners have been waiting for. Unfortunately, you have created a bad situation for the giant rats with this bonfire here. The rats want to attack you, but that means that the rat has to. I guess he'll stay where the fire is for now.
If
That's
he ends his
not a
turn
good
there, he
long-term
has to
investment,
take a
rat.
saving throw.
You know what they say about rats: location, location, location.
that rat looks super badass though, because he's on fire, right? Like that rat is standing.
Yeah, this
in
rat is
fire.
very metal.
I would be pretty scared of that. I think.
It will. Well, I mean, he is terrifying until he dies in that fire. So the other rat from the back row is going to scuttle forward, and that rat will try to bite our beloved bard. So that is going to be a 18 versus Nox. I believe that hits.
It does indeed.
And I'm gonna roll a. You're gonna take
die.
5 bite damage.
Ooh.
It gets you like right on the wrist. And Maximilian, rat attack coming at you. That is a much less threatening 11.
Did not hit.
And Velo, that rat, in order to stay engaged with Maximilian, is going to end its turn in the fire. So it will do a dexterity check at the end of its turn. It rolled a critical fail. Can you roll me some fire damage?
Kill that rat. Kill that rat.
1d8
I don't
fire
know.
damage. Okay, 1d8. Here we go.
Yeah, give me
Oops,
1d8.
wrong button. 1 8. A 6.
That rat
That's what
is
you
in
get,
a bad
rat.
shape.
That's what you get.
I have bad news. That rat is angry.
It's only got one hit point though. The
Oh, no.
box could take it out.
It's going to be waiting a long time until it can retaliate. So I think
Look, people. This is the shocking cliffhanger of this episode. There is an angry rat. Embrace the drama.
Will an angry rat prove to be the most dangerous of enemies? Will it burn to death?
Yes, probably.
Yes.
Wait, were these
Find out
rhetorical
next
Furion?
time.
On Total Party Kill. Woo!